doesn't seem that long since the end of last season. How has the summer been? How ready do you all feel?
Yeah, very. We have a nice break after a long season, but we get our plans sent over, do work, come back in good shape, and that's the key really. And everyone has all stay fit, and we've had a good pre-season ready to go.
Surprised a few people last year. Did you surprise yourselves?
I wouldn't say so. We had the belief that we had enough in the camp to do what we did. We're now ready to push on and try and improve on that last year and get higher up in the league.
Do you subscribe to the view that the Championship might be tougher this year?
Yes and no. I think it's as tough as we make it, really. I think if we're prepared and we've had a good pre-season, we know what we're capable of, we know what we need to do. Every game's there for the taking. Yes, there's bigger teams in there than there was last year, but I think it's up to us to make sure that we get the points on the board.
The irony is that the Championship provides you with new names this year. Leicester, your old club, Southampton, but yet you come up against Portsmouth, who this club seems to play every season, doesn't matter what division you're in.
Yeah, they're we've played them a lot since I've been here, played them every season, so we know what they're capable of. They've made some signings, we have as well. So look, it'll be a good test, good physical test, we know that. But we're all ready for it. They
gave you actually as tough a game at the Kassam as anyone did last year.
Yeah, we know what they're about. They're a physical team. They demand a lot from the opposition. If you're not ready, they'll capitalise on that. So we know what we need to do. We know what we need to do to break them down and come away with 3 points.
What do you make of the strength of the new signings that have come in?
Yeah, very good. We needed the squad depth, and I think that's what we've now got. We've got lads that are battling for places, and it's a flip of a coin of who starts where. I've been here in the past where you kind of know what your starting team will be most weeks, but I think the squad's got a lot better, the team's got a lot better, and the signings have made that improvement.
Obviously, Elliott came in January, Spencer's come in the summer. It's not absolutely guaranteed anymore that any of you are going to be playing, which hasn't always been the case. Sometimes people have just been writing Elliott Moore down on the team sheet.
Yeah, but that's what we need to get to where we want to get to, and to succeed as a team. We need the squad depth, and the players that have come in either this year, last year, or whenever, they improve that and they make that. And no one expects to play every week, and I don't think anyone expects anyone to play every week. Like I said, there's players.
There must have been times when you did though here. Be it because of injuries or just you were in imperious form, or you're the captain.
I think the squad depth didn't help where you had young players on the bench that and kind of you did expect to go out and play, but I think since coming into the Championship, no one has walked into the team, and that's how it needs to be. If you look at all the top teams, the squad depth that they have is incredible, and I think we've done that. We've added good signings, good quality signings that will come in and challenge anyone for a place.
Does that drag more out of you individually then?
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I don't want to say flip of a coin, but it's like the gaffer can choose who he wants to play depending on how they've trained or how they played in the last game or whatever it is. But there will be no arguments over it because of the quality that we've now got in every position.
But there won't be any slack in your system or there to work harder, to train longer and that kind of thing?
No, we just, as a player, as an individual, you need to know that you need to be on top form in training and in games to be able to make sure that you get your place for the following game.
Just finally, you had a brilliant start to the Championship season last year. The first 2 games aren't against teams that people expect to be big hitters this year. How do you view the Pompey game and the whole game, and how you want to start this season?
I think whoever we play, whether it Pompey, whether it was Leicester, Ipswich, whoever it is, I think we have the same goal, and that's to get 3 points on the board and to pick a good performance, to get a good performance under our belt and go again. We got a good start last year. Maybe teams underestimated how good we were and all of that, but look, I think it's just important to start well as a team, build up them relationships, but we need points on the board at the end of the day.
Thanks. A couple of new strikers in this week who potentially come up against in training. What they look like up against yourself in training this week?
Yeah, very lively. You know, they're both very physical. You can see that. And like I've said, this league is going to be probably the most physically demanding league that I've been involved in. And so we're going to need that, and we're going to need different qualities. You know, coming off the bench, impact subs, whatever you want to call them, or you know, starting. I think we just need different, and they offer that, which is good.
Because that sort of like profile of a 6 foot sort of striker has been, you know, missing, hasn't it, for the past couple of years, but two in a week, eh?
Yeah, we've you know, we've needed something like that for a very long time. Bradders and Sparks can do what they're really good at, but these guys offer something different, and how the gaffer plans on using all of them, I don't know. You'll have to ask him, but yeah, it's really good to see in training that we've got very good attacking options.
I suppose just one on the weekend. I think there's a little bit of uncertainty with their captaincy. I know Murph was even captain of a little bit in pre-season. Will that be odd for you if you sort of come up against him as two captains at the weekend?
No, I don't really pay attention to who's captain and who's not captain. It's not 11 players on the pitch. You just got to turn up. You know, we know Murph. We know what he's good at. Whether he's captain or not, he's still going to offer them same qualities. So, yeah, whoever it is, that's up to them to decide. But we just got to focus on the game.
They said about Portsmouth being a team you're familiar with. How important is it to start the season against a team you're familiar with, do you think?
Yeah, I'll let you know after the game on Saturday. But yeah, look, we know we've played them enough times to know what they're good at, and how we can exploit them and you know, get our chances from them. But look, we know what they're about. We know their qualities. We know what they offer. They've made good signings. You know, so have we. So it's going to be a good game on Saturday.
Yeah, and we spoke about Championship being tough as well. How difficult do you think it could be to sort of get stuck in the Championship? Because it seems to be one of those leagues where if you spend too long in it, you sort of can be doomed in a way, whereas you can't go up too quickly as well.
Yeah, I think, look, we want to improve on our last season when, you know, the gaffer's made it clear that the top half of the table is our aim, and you know, we're going to try and push for that. I think we just need to take it step by step, game by game. We've been in the Championship a year. We've shown that we can be here and we belong here, and I think this year is now a progression to push on and challenge what we can do, and yeah, like I said, try and push the top half.
So would you say discipline is one of the most important traits to have this season going in?
Massively. Look, you've seen the money that is spent now in the Championship, and you know, I know we've spent some money as well, but nothing compared to some of the big hitters. So I think, look, we all need to be disciplined on the pitch, off the pitch, everything we do to be able to challenge with the likes of, you know, the big hitters in this league.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks. And with the top aim of finishing top half this year, what do you take from last year's season? You know, what's perhaps the biggest thing that you can use to learn from last year to use that to push on to the top half?
I think it's discipline's the big one, but like we showed when the gaffer came in, like if you keep doing the right things, you know, we made it clear that we're not good enough individuals to, you know, just turn it on a Saturday and you know, beat the likes of Ipswich, Leicester, all that. But when we work hard as a team on and off, training, everything, when we're resilient, when we're determined to do the right things, you know, we put ourselves in good position, and I think that's what we need to do this year.
Thank you.
Yep, so that was. Right, cheers guys.
Thank you.